Mm.
Want beer.
Oh, yeah? Well, so's your face. Stop touching my magic phone.
Well, you're mistaken.
Vidka?
Okay.
You're really campaigning for Bitch of the Year, aren't you?
I swear, one of these times you're gonna wake up in a coma.
If we can focus, keep discipline, and not have quite as many mysterious deaths, Sunnydale is gonna rule!
Hey, Scoobies! Welcome to episode 70 of Girl Artcast, the only Buffy and Angel recap podcast that is spoiler-free for her pleasure. I am I am Brandon Ellison.
And I'm disgusted and Jewel Rocket Road.
I don't know. They can't all be winners. Okay, let me try this again. The only podcast that is somehow both very late and still early. We are recording this week's episode a week after we were supposed to, and an hour before we were supposed to. You know what?
You guys,
we're
I'm
busy.
sorry. It's been a week. I've been filming late night all week, meaning 4 p.m. to 4 a.m. shifts. Dude, my body clock is off. I'm tired. All I want to do is go have a cocktail and hang out and not be pressured by anyone I work with.
Yeah, it's been.
Thank you, Naomi, so much. I needed it, Brandon. Every positive comment that comes my way, can we put on the screen? Because you guys, I'm having a struggle bus day.
Yes, Jewel needs positive affirmation. If you are a Patreon subscriber of ours, you can watch the show live and comment on our live videos and tell Jewel how pretty she is. What a pleasure!
I know I need to do it in person now all the time.
Yeah,
I love it.
Yeah. We've hung out with Will a few times since Jewel's been in town. Anyone else who's in Vegas, hit us up. We work a lot, but we always need a drink, so let us know.
For real, Will and I had the best time. I went to his house. I did laundry and we played board games. It was like the best evening, and he fed me guacamole. It was great.
I called Jewel while she was at Will's house, and I said, Jewel, what are you up to? And she's like, I can't talk right now. I'm playing dinosaurs with Will. And I was like,
yes,
okay.
I'm playing dinosaurs. And he was like, is that some kind of weird? And I was like, no, we're playing dinosaurs. And for those in the Patreon group, with Will's permission, I will post the photo I took and sent to Brandon.
Yes. Will gave permission already. He just did it in
the
comments.
Not.
No, he didn't, but let's go for it anyway. A lot of people are seconding your beautiful hair, including Facebook user. Hi, Facebook user.
Thank you so much. You guys, I have to tell you, and I say this as a win because Vegas is dry. It's crispy. It's so fucking hot here. You guys, it was 119 degrees. I can't, my body does not function at more than 85. So this has been a lot, but I've put so much shit in my hair. Shout out to Kerastase because y'all are saving my locks.
So Jewel has been working her ass off. So my assumption is, Jewel, you haven't watched or read or seen anything in the last couple weeks.
I watched Barb and Star Goes to Del Mar.
Oh my God, wasn't it great? It's hilarious.
I did. I was supposed to watch something else last night, but I did not. But that I did watch last night, and I loved it. I thought it was hysterical. It was so funny. I would watch it again.
Yeah.
Barb and Star.
I loved Barb and Star, and I love when they take Molly.
Also, where's my Edgar? That's what I want to know. I'm on vacation. Not. I'm away from home. Where is my random beach hookup?
Well, I have been working from home for the last week because I had a false positive COVID test, so I wasn't allowed to go do anything or be anywhere.
Someone was in quarantine.
I was in quarantine, which means two things. I got a lot of work done, and hi, Will. Will's finally in the room. We were just talking about you. I have been working at home, which sounds like it would be easier, but it's actually nonstop work because people are like, "Oh, he's at home. Just call him."
That's true. I do it all the time.
But I've also had things running in the background while I've been working, which is my favorite way to watch TV or consume any media. So I have watched a few things that I'm going to tell you about now. I watched 14 episodes of Hoarders.
I low-key love Hoarders.
I love
also
Hoarders.
love My 600-Pound Life.
I think that's a little much for me.
Okay.
I can do Hoarders because It's one thing, and then they go. And then every Hoarders episode is like, the end is like the woman or man, going like, oh, everything is fine. We worked this out. Like, yeah, no, I'm going to go to aftercare therapy. And then the little text at the end is like, she died in that house 3 days later, covered in cats. Like, I have never seen one that's like, she's kept everything going, and have you ever seen a Hoarders episode that ends with a positive text crawl?
I don't think I make it to the end.
Ah, fair. The end is my favorite.
There gets to a point where I'm just like, you know what? When they find the dead rat, or there's like when dead animals show up, I have to leave. It's horrible. I have to turn it off. I'm not prepared for that kind of life. Yeah, it's horrible. I also watched Mayor of Easttown, the Kate Winslet I've heard great things
series.
About this, but
Fabulous.
It upsets me because I love it when Kate Winslet looks gorgeous. It makes me happy to look at her.
Well, she has some pretty moments in the show, but it's like when she cleans herself up for like a gala or whatever.
She's such a beautiful woman, and I hate when she like doesn't get to be.
Well, she's playing a character. She's playing a cop. There's not a lot of glam cops.
Look at Mariska Hargitay.
Oh, I would love to. She's gorgeous.
Me too.
And she's in Philadelphia. Have you ever met an attractive person from Philadelphia?
I have to tell you, Philly is my city. Do not sleep on Philadelphia. Absolutely not. That is my city. I kid you not, Brandon. Whenever I am in Philly, no joke, hands down, it has happened not once, not twice, not 3 times, but 4 different occasions. I get stopped on the street and told how pretty I am. It is my city.
Do you go to Wawa and get a hoagie?
I fucking love a Wawa. Don't front on a Wawa. Don't fuck with me with a Wawa. Wawa is the jam.
You gotta solve your dirter's murder. She was found by the warder.
Stop it. They make the best milkshakes in the world. I don't even like a milkshake, and I will drink one from Wawa.
Yesterday, we had a whole conversation about milkshakes. You absolutely like milkshakes.
No, did I order one? I will talk about it all day long, but I won't do it.
It's because we ordered 6 other things. We'll not talk about that. I did.
Well, I needed to sample it all.
I have 2 more things to talk about. I've started watching the show Ted Lasso. I started it this morning on Apple TV because it has a record for the most freshman nominations for any comedy series at the Emmys. It has 20 nominations. It is amazing, and not the kind of show I would normally watch. I don't like sports stuff. It's amazing, and Giles is in it. Anthony Head plays a character named Rupert, and he's great. And then the other thing I want to talk about is the new Nicolas Cage movie, Pig. I went and saw it in the theater by myself the day that I got cleared. I told Jewel the plot of it, and she started tearing up when I was just explaining the plot to her. It's one of the best movies I've ever seen. Highly, highly, highly recommend it. Will says that you can go out for milkshakes. Thanks for the invite, Will. Really appreciate it, as always.
No, Will and I are besties now. Back off.
I know. No, I get it. I know when I've been replaced. By 2 people. Anyway, Jewel, we have we have a Buffy and an Angel episode to talk about. Both of these we watched a week ago, so it'll be catch up for both of us. Hey, Will, if you're still paying attention, should we talk about the Buffy episode first or the Angel episode first? You have 5 seconds.
You get to decide because you've had to deal with me all week.
Yes. While you do that, I'm going to tell you the movie Pig is Nicolas Cage's best performance he's ever done. Absolutely go see it if you get a chance. See it in the theater and go by yourself and have an edible first and take it in. It's not action-y. It's beautiful. It's sad.
Stop
it's
it. You're
sweet.
going to cry. You're going to sob horribly.
I loved it. I sat in the car for a half hour after I saw it. And if Will doesn't answer by the end of the sentence, we're just going to start talking about Buffy.
Angel first. Angel first.
Okay, we'll do Angel first. That was easy. All right. Our Angel episode this week is Dead End. Lindsey McDonald. Lindsey McDonald Will says Buffy, too late. We already started Angel, Will. You gotta be faster. Lindsey McDonald receives the gift of a new hand from his employers, but he quickly finds that the hand has a mind of its own. Meanwhile, Cordelia has a disturbing vision of a man gouging out his own eye that had been transplanted into him. As each group investigates their own problems with transplants, they cross paths and reluctantly start working together. Now, before we get into this, Jewel, this is not the first creepy surgery episode of Angel. And the last one that we watched had the hands that traveled by themselves and did surgery. I know that you hate surgery stuff. And you hate...
I have to tell you, shockingly, the fact that I'm on the COVID team is very strange because I'm not good in a medical situation.
No, me neither. at all.
I'm really not great. I will cry. Especially if it's a family member of mine. Nope, you don't want me to take you to the hospital or anything because I will be sobbing. I dropped my dad off at like an elective surgery thing. I burst out into tears. He was like, "Are you all right?" I was like, "No, I'm not. I'm not."
All right, so Lindsey wakes up and he's going about his daily routine. He's washing himself. He's putting his fake arm on, which looks like a mannequin arm, and he's getting ready for work. He he takes his shirt off and it's got like a pre-knotted, or he pulls his shirt out and it's got like a pre-knotted tie on the thing, so he can basically he has gotten accustomed to having this fake hand.
He's hands free.
He's hand free. He's got the one. And he is looking at his guitar and he's bummed that he can't play guitar anymore because apparently Lindsey's super into playing guitar.
Apparently he's a very good guitar player.
Yeah. And so then we see this like scene where this guy and his family are doing the like 2.5 kids suburbs thing, and he's like getting ready for, breakfast and whatever, sending the kids out, and he starts walking behind them a couple seconds later, and then he grabs a kitchen knife and you see him do this and blood starts flowing everywhere. It's disgusting.
I'm aware.
Yeah. And Courtney gets a vision about this man and it makes her go crazy. And she's like, I saw him, he stabbed himself in the eye, everything was great, and then he just stabbed himself in the eye. And everybody splits up to go call hospitals and check out morgues and go to the streets and try to find out what's happening with this dude.
Take to the streets.
We have Lindsey and Lila are speaking with their boss about their upcoming reevaluation. And later, Nathan, who's their boss, pulls Lindsey aside and he's like, hey, I made a special doctor's appointment for you. He's like, don't worry, your cases are being handled. You have time off work. You're going to go do this. So Lindsey goes to this clinic and he finds out that he's on the top of the list for a hand transplant. He's getting a hand job. And
wouldn't we all like one of those right now?
I mean, then during this surgery, this like demon comes in, and as his hand is being reattached, the demon starts chanting, and the hand like completely reconnects with just a tiny little scar around it. It's wild. But you could tell by the scar that the hand wasn't always Lindsey's. The next day, Lindsey wakes up and he has his new hand and he's super jazzed and he's getting ready and he sees the guitar and he picks it up and plays it. Lindsey can play guitar again, and boy can he. Lila notices the new hand and she's like, I know what this means. Like, I know that they sent you there. I know that this is a big deal. They're going to make you partner. Why would they do this for you if you weren't going to be the new partner, you know?
I know. Why?
Why? Who knows?
I'm sorry.
It's okay. So Lindsey is in this meeting with Lila and these new clients, and he has his little paper that he's writing down stuff on, and he looks down and it just says kill, 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 kill. There was a movie,
which is what I write most of the day anyway.
True. There was a movie in the 90s called Idle Hands. Do you remember this movie?
I do remember it, with Devon Sawa.
And Seth Green.
And
this was kind of the plot of Idle Hands, wasn't it?
But for real, though, let's just stop down for a second. Who did not have a crush on Devon Sawa in the 90s, in the 2000s?
Casper alone.
Oh, my God. Dreams. I thought that was going to happen for me, and it didn't.
Yeah, no.
Any first kiss, I'm hoping that's what it's like.
Didn't Devon Sawa end up running or was that Andrew Keegan that ran a cult?
Andrew Keegan, but also Devon Sawa, my ultimate favorite Devon Sawa movie, Little Giants.
Great movie. Favorite Andrew Keegan movie?
10 Things I Hate About You, and also Camp Nowhere.
Oh, I would go Broken Hearts Club, but okay.
Oh, also Broken Hearts. Andrew Keegan can do no wrong in the 90s, but Andrew Keegan in the 2000s is definitely a cult leader.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, what can you do? It's the 2010. It's the 2020s. It doesn't seem right.
Fuck off.
I don't like it.
Not, though. Listen, when did that happen? Because as far as I'm concerned, 1990 was 10 years
Do you know that I just looked at my phone to confirm whether it was actually 2020? I was like, 2020, that doesn't make sense. 2020.
You know why? Because 2020 didn't happen. I feel like...
Well, and we've been calling it like 20... We haven't talked about it as the 2020s.
I don't want to talk about it as the 2020s.
Yeah, I don't like it. Anyway, let's go back to hand jobs.
As far as I'm concerned, I just graduated high school.
So Lindsey can't control his hand. It's just his writing kill, kill, kill on things. We're back at the office, and Angel keeps getting all this food delivered, and he doesn't ask her she doesn't ask anyone what they want. He just keeps getting food delivered. And because
I wish you would do that to my hotel room because I'm starving.
Right? She's clearly like down in the dumps, and he's trying to make her feel better. And she remembers that, by the way, like when this guy stabbed his eye out, he was super happy right before he did it. Like he was jazzed about getting this eye transplant. Wesley and Gunn find out that the guy's name is Joseph Kramer, who gave Lindsey his hand. I'm sorry, no. Joseph Kramer's the one that stabbed out his own eye. And he and his family. I was
going to say Joe was the eye guy.
Yeah, and he and his family have entirely disappeared. And you know the explanation was that they went overseas and they moved suddenly, and whatever, the house is empty and scrubbed. And the gang goes to the karaoke bar, your favorite spot in the show.
And I love it.
And they walk in, and Lindsey is singing and playing guitar. He's singing an original song and playing guitar.
I know, he's kind of hot.
So hot. Sounds amazing. Good guitar player. And that song is great. I listen to it all the time. I actually, when we did the Buffy musical, we added songs from other episodes of Buffy, because if we just did the Buffy songs, it would take 40 minutes. And we added songs from other Buffy episodes, and I added a song from Dollhouse, and I wanted to add this song.
But you got voted off.
And I just couldn't make it work. No matter what I did.
That work?
It just didn't work in the plot of the story of the musical episode. But I'm going to figure out a way to do it, because I love that song. Anyway, so where was I? So the host tells them that Lindsey and Angel need to work together to solve this case, but Angel and Lindsey obviously hate each other. There's some Angel and Lindsey sexual tension in this episode, is there not?
Like a little bit.
Yeah, like they hate each other a little bit too much for people who should hate other people more. Does that make sense?
I feel like, honestly, if you don't have that kind of sexual tension with someone, I'm really not that interested in you. I need some kind of tension. I need some pushback. So for me, that's like foreplay.
Who do I have sexual tension with?
Me. Just kidding.
We talked about that yesterday. That'll never happen. So Angel is like, we have a new lead because Lindsey has been holding a glass, so they're going to pull the fingerprints off the glass. His cop friend taught him something, I guess. Who cares?
Poor Kate. Rest in peace.
So they conclude that somewhere these transplants are being done and that there's all these demonic problems. Lindsey sneaks into his boss's office and finds out some more information about the clinic, and it turns out that Wolfram and Hart has been funding this clinic's outreach programs and stuff like that, so the clinic owes them favors. And then he walks by and he sees Lila stealing files, and this is going to come back. I love sneaky Lila stealing files because she's convinced she's not going to get the partnership. Angel hires a private detective who traces the fingerprints to Bradley Scott, a former employee of Wolfram and Hart, who went to prison and then got out on parole and then disappeared. So Lindsey goes to the parole officer to ask information about the clinic, and the parole officer gets real violent because Lindsey doesn't know the code. The guy has a gun and is about to shoot Lindsey in the head, but Angel shows up and saves the day.
Of course he does.
Yes. And he's holding the officer by a rope around his neck, and Angel's threatening to, he's like, why would I kill you when I could live off you for a week? And puts his vampire face on. Scary Angel, I like it. Wesley and Gunn worry about Cordy because she keeps suffering from these visions, as long as the problem is there. So until the problem is solved, she keeps having the same visions. Angel and Lindsey go to a building, and Angel confirms their location with the police officer tied up in the trunk. And they go in this building, and it's like a payday loan? No, it's a travel agency. That's what it was. And they go in, and he's like, well, if there's all this security, clearly there's a problem. And of course, there's tons of security guards, whatever. They go in this trap door, and they see where all these body parts are being harvested. And the room is filled with people who are awake, but can't move, and their parts are being harvested off of them. It's horrible.
And there's missing pieces.
Yep. And Lindsey sees the guy whose hand he has, and he says, who do you want me to kill? And he says, kill me, kill me. He wants him to kill him because he's being harvested. It's gross. Angel lets Lindsey decide what to do about the guy, and he frees all the others. he cranks up the oxygen tank and blows the place up. And the gang asks Cordelia how she's doing, and she's like, the visions are starting to get more painful, but I get that it's part of the job. We're back to Wolfram and Hart. They're having this meeting to discuss who is going to get this promotion and who's going to be terminated. And Nathan is like, Lila, you've been a great asset. What a team. You know that thing that people do when they're about to tell you, where they give you 2 compliments before they talk shit?
It's called a compliment sandwich.
It's a
compliment, insult, compliment on the end.
Yep.
That's how guys think they get girls. It works.
And she freaks out and she's like, I know that you're choosing him. You're fucking crazy, whatever. And then she goes to reach into her bag to show that she has these files or whatever. And Lindsay's like, you don't have what I have. I have an evil hand. And he takes advantage of the hand and he punches out the security guard. Or he punches out the security guard and then shoots him in the foot and then fires shots at his boss. He doesn't shoot him, but he fires shots at him. And he thanks his boss for choosing him, but he's like, you should pick Lila instead. She has secret files on every person in this room and will destroy this entire agency. Like, yeah, he's really vouching for her because she's sneaky and shit. She's like, he's
done. He's like, this is too much.
Yeah, she's intelligent. She's conniving. She's ruthless. She's exactly what you want. I am not. I'm leaving. You can chase me if you want, but I do have an evil hand. And he leaves and he wishes Lila good luck at her new job. And then he cops a feel as he walks past, which I didn't like and felt very 90s.
I'm just saying he has an evil hand, and if I were Lila, I'd be like, "Thank you."
But his hand isn't actually evil. It's that poor guy.
I know it's fine, but that guy's dead now because he killed him because he requested that he kill him. So it's fine. It's now his evil hand. Yep. But also, like, I would do it too.
And Lila's in shock, and the boss is like, well, Lila, congratulations on your promotion. Lindsey's packing up his truck, and he sees Angel, and he tells him, like, I'm leaving Los Angeles for good. And he says, when you're fighting Wolfram and Hart, don't play their game, make them play yours. And then he puts a sign on the back of Lindsey's truck that says, cops suck. So Lindsey will get pulled over, because Angel's an asshole, and he wants to fuck Lindsey, and who doesn't?
I do too.
And Angel's in the street smirking. So, before we get to our final thoughts, let's talk about a little bit of trivia from this episode. I don't have much, just that the song, LA song that he's saying is written by Christian Kane, who plays Lindsey, and the producer of the show, David Greenwalt, and that the foreign language titles are Die Hand des Bösen is the German title. It means the hand of evil, or Impasse, which means dead end, which is the French title. Jewel, final thoughts and a letter rating on Dead End from Angel.
You know what? I actually shockingly enjoyed this one. Maybe it was the fact that I was, devoid of any human contact or enough attention last week, but I don't know. I give it a B+. I thought it was for an Angel episode. This was good. For an Angel episode, this was good for Angel. Yeah. But it's not a great show overall. But for this episode, I was on board.
Yeah, me too. I would go A- on this one. We're about in the same boat on this one.
Yeah, I would give it like an 88%.
Yeah, really enjoyable storylines. Lindsey's super hot. The Lindsey and Angel stuff is great. It's the first time I ever gave a shit about Wolfram and Hart or like anything happening over there. I like it a lot. That's what I got. Hey, Joel, before we talk about our next episode, let's talk about our Patreon. We have a Patreon. Patreon.com/GAC podcast. We'll get you exclusive access to our private Facebook group where we do our live videos so you can interact with us during the chats. We have exclusive content. We have extended interviews. You can see videos of me and Jewel being awkward at Sunnydale High School around a bunch of people that knew who we were.
I am not. Well, I was a little awkward, but it was weird. It was great.
It was really fun, but it was really weird. And we went to.
Weird when people know who you are, and you're like, "Hi."
Yeah, I'm going to be posting all those pictures and videos tonight.
But it was so much fun, and we all had a really good time.
We had a great time.
30 seconds, I was like, "What is happening?"
Yeah, we met a lot of fans of the show. We got to hang out with Nikki Brendan, and more importantly, we got to hang out with Sarah Allison, who I love. Collison and Allison, both of them.
Collison and Allison.
Yep, both wonderful people, and it's really fun. And so join us, patreon.com/GAC podcast. It's $5 a month. You
and
won't
as
even
Sarah
notice.
Collison said, I'm even more beautiful in person, you guys.
Oh, boy. Okay, so now we're going to talk
Brandy,
about...
just let me have my moment. My lighting is good right now.
You need these moments all the time.
Every day.
Every day. Our next episode we're going to be talking about is the Buffy episode Intervention. Buffy travels to a sacred location on a solemn quest guided by the first Slayer with the hopes of uncovering why she has become emotionally paralyzed and to help regain her focus towards slaying. So Buffy and Dawn open this episode and they're trying to settle into a new routine because after Joyce's death, and Buffy is talking to it about this to Giles. Giles says, you should resume training, but she's not sure because the progress that she was making has kind of stifled. She's trying to master these abilities and her progress is kind of like stagnant. And Buffy confesses that
she's not progressing. She's not getting better. She's not getting worse. She's just like hanging out.
Yeah.
I know that vibe, Buffy.
And she's also like the harder I work, the less human that I feel. And I worry that the people don't know how much, the people around me don't realize how important they are to me. She worries that Joyce didn't know how much Buffy loved her, which is really sad.
Stop it! I can't. This whole storyline just fucks with me.
It's almost over. It's almost over. Giles suggests that he and Buffy go do this like ceremony in the desert, which is clearly filmed in Calabasas. I mean, it's like, right. Yeah, but sure. So they're going to do this sacred location in the desert ceremony vision quest thing. Giles does this ritual to call on the guide. And it's like dancing in and out of a circle holding a gourd, and Buffy keeps saying that it's the hokey pokey. This mountain lion shows up, and she follows the mountain lion into the desert.
As you do.
Like you does. Giles orders... Gloria orders that her minions watch the Slayer and see who's new and special in her life, because now that she knows the key is human, the key has to be somebody new, and somebody that she trusts, and somebody that she's always around. And they're following her people everywhere, and they're watching, and Dawn started stealing stuff from the shop, which is going to come back into play a little bit later.
Ooh, is she a klepto now?
Just a bit of a klepto.
Let's see.
Spike gets his robot back that he went and ordered at the end of the robot episode, and from Warren.
My God.
I've been so excited for you to see the Buffy robots. Is it your favorite?
It's my favorite.
Spike and the Buffy bot are pretending to fight, and then they end up having sex. Warren returns just to drop off this robot and then leaves town. We will see Warren again, unfortunately.
I don't mind Warren. He adds. Does he fuck up again?
He fucks up a lot again.
Warren.
When Spike is sleeping, Buffy heads out to patrol. The Buffy robot heads out to patrol.
She does, because she's programmed
Buffy.
to do.
Exactly. She runs into Xander and Anya, and they think that she's Buffy, but she's just acting weird and is not asking about Dawn. She turns back. They turn back to see if Buffy's okay, and Xander and Anya see Spike and Buffy having sex. They're shocked. They go to Xander's apartment to discuss it with Willow and Tara. But Glory's minions also see Spike and Buffy, and they go, "Oh, well, Spike is obviously the key. Look how important he is to her." So we're back at Xander's apartment. Everybody's horrified that Buffy is doing this, and Xander goes back to confront Spike. Spike has the Buffy bot hide, and Xander tells Spike that he's taking advantage of Buffy during a difficult time. And Glory's minions show up, knock Xander out, take Spike. Glory's upset when she sees Spike because she's like, a vampire cannot be the key. It has to be somebody pure. This is a vampire. And she's like, but, we'll torture him and get some information out of him anyway. Buffy wakes up in the desert and sees that her guide is the first Slayer. Now, the first Slayer is somebody that we've seen before. We saw her in the Dream episode at the end of season 4.
I thought it was Inca Warrior Mummy Princess.
No, it's that this is the first Slayer. So do you remember the Dream episode that you hated with the guy with the cheese?
Yeah.
Yeah, she's from that episode. I love that episode, but I get it.
The guy with the cheese.
Yeah, so she's the first Slayer, and she's talking to Buffy about love and how love is the center of all Slayers, and that love will bring you your gift. And the First Slayer tells her that death is her gift. And Buffy's like, well, death is not my gift. Like, my mom is dead. Like, you know, this is not how death works. And there's so much pain that comes with death. And the First Slayer's like, I answered your question. And then she disappears. She's a little less sassy than that. She's a little less sassy than that. But in my mind, she's like, I answered your question. So the Buffy robot is worried about Spike and ignores Xander, who is unconscious at the crypt, and goes to Xander's apartment to help. Willow is talking really sternly to the Buffy robot about her sexual relationship with Spike. Xander comes home and fills everyone in about Spike being taken by Glory's minions. And the gang is like, shit, like, Spike knows that Dawn is the key. Like, we have to go to Buffy's house to get weapons. Whatever. So they all go together, and none of them know that Buffy is not Buffy. When the Buffy bot goes upstairs to change, the real Buffy enters, and the gang thinks it's the same Buffy they've been talking to. The Buffy bot comes downstairs, and when they're confronted with two Buffys, everyone is super confused, and they're like, they're both Buffy! And Buffy's like, no, I'm Buffy, that is a robot, what the fuck is wrong with you people?
100%!
Yeah. And she's pissed off that everyone was fooled, and she's disgusted when they all realize that it's the purpose of that Buffy bot is to fuck Spike. Buffy finds out about Spike's situation, decides to head out and kill him because it's the only way to stop him from telling Glory about Dawn.
Right, because she's scared that Spike's going to sell her out.
Exactly. The only lead that Buffy has is that it's where she killed Glory's snake thing, her demon snake thing, because remember the snake was going back to Glory.
Sure.
So Glory's torturing Spike and Spike tells her that the key is Bob Barker first, which makes me laugh all the time, and I think about it every time I see Bob Barker. And the Buffy bot is with them. Spike ends up like taunting Glory and saying that like she's like she has tacky shoes and like her hair looks like shit and whatever, just so she'll kick him hard enough to break the shackles so he can escape in an elevator shaft. Smart. I
mean, he's kind of a genius.
Yeah, a little bit.
He's been around a while.
And he's really damaged, but he sees the whole crew there and he like chills and passes out. Everybody fights off the minions he's beat up. Everybody fights off Glory's minions and they leave the mansion with Spike, but the Buffy bot is really damaged and it doesn't work anymore. For now. We're back at the magic shop and Willow is examining the Buffy robot and she's like, oh, I could fix this pretty easily. And Buffy's like, no, you will not.
Yes, she will. Right?
And, Giles and Xander show up at the shop and they've jumped Spike off at the crypt and they're like, we haven't been able to get any information out of him because he's so severely beaten he can't even like talk right now, whatever. And Xander is like, man, I feel for Spike because, you know, now he lost his favorite toy, but, you know, he also got a severe thrashing. And Buffy is like, oh, right, like, I got this. So Spike is there resting in his crypt, and the Buffy bot arrives and starts asking him what happened, and he's like, I didn't tell her about Dawn. She's like, oh, I'll go tell her. And he's like, no, because Buffy would never forgive me, yada, yada, yada. And Buffy would be destroyed if anything ever happened to Dawn, and I'd rather die than watch Buffy live in pain like that. And then the Buffy bot leans over and kisses Spike, and Spike realizes that it's not the Buffy bot, that it's actually Buffy. And she
was like, the robot's gross.
Like, the robot is gross, but what you did was real, and I won't ever forget it. And she leaves, and Spike is there just staring at her, confused and excited and confused.
That's my goal in life. My goal is to kiss someone and just have them stare after me longingly, confused about what has just gone on.
Yeah. Couple little pieces of trivia. Oh, I love the Buffy bot calling Giles Giles. That Spike didn't even program the robot to correctly know how to say Giles' name, which is very funny.
Giles?
And then I think, doesn't Buffy call him Giles at some point too?
Yeah, for the rest of the time. I'm like, yes, girl. Giles.
Nikki Brendan missed a lot of filming in this episode, and his twin brother Kelly, stepped in and filmed a lot for him, so a lot of the scenes where Xander isn't speaking is actually his twin brother Kelly.
They're like
and
twin twins, right? Like
they are
look
twin
the same?
twins. Yeah, I believe there's a triplet, if I remember
What?
correctly. I'll have to ask Sarah. The
Too many Brendans.
we got a whole lot of foreign language titles. I'll do just a couple here. The French title is La Quête, or The Quest. The German title is Der Zorn der Göttin, or Wrath of the Goddess. The the Italian title is Pronto Intervento, or Prompt Intervention.
Right.
Do you have a favorite of any of those?
I like the goddess one.
Yeah, the Germans again.
The Germans.
Okay, Jewel, final thoughts, letter rating on Intervention.
Oh, 100%. I don't know. Maybe it's a this week thing for me, but I'm going A+. This is a great episode.
Jewel is feeling very gracious. I'm going to give this episode an A. It's not an A+ for me, just because I reserve that for my favorite episodes. This is a solid
this
A.
could be one of my favorite Buffy episodes.
Yeah, it's great. It's great, and it really sets up where the rest of the season is going. I love it.
Is there more Buffy and Spike together?
Sorry, you
Okay,
broke
great. What a great season. Thank God. Something good is happening on this show again.
Yeah, this is a solid A for me. I really loved it. And great. All right. Well, we'll be back next week to cover the next Buffy episode, which is, of course, Tough Love, and the next Angel episode, which is Who the Hell Knows? I haven't watched it yet. Belonging. So thank you guys so much for watching and subscribing if you did. Jules' computer's about to die, so we're going to go.
I'm sorry, guys. This was not a...
We love you guys.
We missed you. We love
We
you.
missed
Come
you.
hang out with us in Vegas. Flights are cheap, and apparently you can get a hotel room in my hotel for $17.
Bye, everybody. Grr. Arg.